Hello, everyone. Paul here. I'm one of the instructors in Earth Science, and I'm a geologist. And I'm here to show you how to identify minerals for our exercise. So here I am in our My Courses Module 1. And you can see as we scroll down here that you have a submodule for minerals, another one for rocks. Right now we're going to be talking about minerals. If you can't see this minerals quiz here, that's because you haven't taken the syllabus quiz yet. So go ahead and take the syllabus quiz, read the syllabus, take the quiz. I promise it's easy, it's short, and that will unlock a lot of the content in Module 1 for you. So go ahead and do that. Um, so first of all, we have this set up as a quiz, but it's really a lab. Um, it's just formatted as a quiz, but it counts as a lab. It'll read out into the gradebook as a lab. So it's actually a lab on identifying minerals. So obviously you want to read the chapter on your book on minerals first, just so you have some ideas. And then we're going to use this spreadsheet to identify minerals. Now, we don't identify minerals the way you, for example, might identify birds, right? Where basically you match the bird with a picture of birds in a bird book, and that's what the bird is. We'll notice that our mineral identification spreadsheet doesn't have any pictures. Okay, you don't identify minerals using pictures. Okay, so we'll have some pictures on the quiz, but we're not going to actually use them to identify minerals. They're just there, for fun. So, first things first, you want to actually download this spreadsheet. Don't just click on it and try to use it in My Courses. That will not work. Okay, you need to actually have it on your computer one way or another, downloaded so that you can see. If you just open it in My Courses, it's not going to work. Okay, it's just not. So go ahead and download it. And then what we want to do is let's go ahead and take a look at the quiz. Now, you're about to see, my view of the quiz, not yours, just because it's better that way. Trust me. So what you have are descriptions of minerals along with a picture. So there's a picture, which is nice to have. Hopefully it'll be formatted a little bit better for you guys, but whatever. Anyway, so the important part though is not going to be the picture. Don't try to go do a Google image search looking for what you're going to have a bad time. Okay, don't do that. Use the words, use the spreadsheet. I'm about to show you how. Okay, so but this is what it's going to look like, and what you want to pay attention to is really the description here. Okay, now if we just look at this list of descriptions, you can see that the first thing I tell you is light in color, dark in color, dark in color, dark, dark, light, light, dark, light, etc. Okay. The third option, along with light and dark, is metallic luster. Okay. And if we look at our spreadsheet, we can see three tabs at the bottom: metallic, dark colored non-metallic, and light colored non-metallic. Now, hopefully from your reading, you know that metallic and non-metallic refers to the mineral property known as luster. Luster is the quality of the light reflected off of the mineral, and it comes in two basic kinds: metallic and non-metallic. Unless I tell you the mineral is metallic, you should assume it's non-metallic. Okay? If I tell you that it's dark in color, you should be on this tab. If I tell you that it's lighter in color, you should be on this tab. And if I tell you that it's metallic, you should be on this tab. Okay, so right away, if I go back to the questions, you can see, what tab you're supposed to be on. Okay, so once we know what tab we're supposed to be on, what do we do then? Well, let's look at this first one again. So we see that it's light in color, clear to white, very soft, with three good planes of cleavage that meet at 60 and 120 degrees, and it will react to hydrochloric acid. So we're going to use that information, right? So first of all, we're on the non-metallic page. So our first thing here to break down with the light colored non-metallic minerals is hardness. Remember that hardness is resistance to scratching, not breaking or shattering, but scratching. That's a very specific thing. And we measure it on something called Mohs hardness scale that runs from 1 to 10, diamond being 10 and the hardest mineral, talc being 1 and the softest mineral. And we have a cutoff here of greater or less than 5.5, which is handy because most glass has a hardness of about 5.5. So if the mineral would scratch glass, it'll be up here. If it won't scratch glass, it will be down here. So if we look back at the description, it says that it's very soft. So it's going to be down here, kind of on the bottom of our grid here. And so we're down in here somewhere. So now we need to think about cleavage. So cleavage, remember, is a tendency for the mineral to break flat along planes of atomic weakness, right? And so if we look back here, we see three good planes of cleavage. Okay, great. That puts us up in here, right? Up in here. So we know that it's either calcite, halite, gypsum, or muscovite, one of those, okay? If we look at the rest of the descriptions, meat at 60 and 120 degrees will react to hydrochloric acid. If I look at these, if I look at these other properties, we see, white to clear, cleavage planes at 60 and 120 degrees, reacts to HCl, calcite, right? Write down calcite on your answer spot and go on. Okay, so that's the way we generally do this. Let's look at a metallic one. Let's look at that one. And so let's bring it up here. So metallic to submetallic luster, hardness less than 5.5, no visible cleavage, and will write on paper. Okay, so let's go back to our grid, and now we're in metallic, right? And so first of all, we need to So first of all, we need to think about hardness. Is it greater than 5, or less than 5, right? Well, hardness less than 5.5, right? So now we're down in here. So it's either galena, graphite, or copper, right? No visible cleavage, and will write on paper, right? So cleavage, absent or poor to not visible. So now we know we're down in here. So it's not good to excellent. So we're down in here. It's either graphite or copper. And then we can see here streak. Now streak, remember, is the color of the mineral when it's been powdered. And you determine streak by rubbing the mineral on a piece of porcelain. Sometimes the streak color is the same as the mineral color. Other times it's not. For example, the mineral pyrite up here, which we might know as fool's gold, which means that it's going to be kind of, silvery to gold in color, but the streak is dark gray to black. So sometimes the streak color is the same as the mineral color. Sometimes it's not. Now down here, we have a choice between graphite and copper at this point, right? So I think it's pretty obvious. The streak is gray to black, and then, silvery gray rubs off, writes on paper, right? And in fact, if you have a pencil handy, your pencil, quote unquote, lead is not lead, it's graphite. And so write down graphite as your answer and move on. Okay, and so that's the way we identify minerals. That's the way we identify minerals in the real world, by the way. We just have much larger grids. We don't have pictures. We don't use pictures. Pictures don't work. Pictures are nice, they're fun, they're pretty, but that's not how we identify minerals, right? You would use the light colored non-metallic, or rather, we already did light, didn't we? You would use the dark colored non-metallic mineral chart the same way. I'll tell you the hardness, narrow it down. I'll tell you the cleavage, narrow it down. Other properties, just continually narrow it down until you get to a name. When you get to a name, write it in the quiz, okay? The quiz doesn't auto-grade. Your instructor is still going to have to go in and grade the quiz/lab for you. So give them a couple days to do that, and that's it. Just keep in mind that it is formatted as a quiz, but it counts as a lab. Okay, so that is mineral identification. So enjoy yourself. And these grids, like I said, this is how we do this. So, okay, have fun. And I'm about to go do rock. So I'll see you again in just a few minutes.